Hello, how is everybody doing? The question is, if happiness is living in occurrence with human nature, can humans be happy even when going through a life event that causes suffering? And I personally believe that the answer to that question is yes. For one, I personally believe that it is natural for suffering to occur. I personally believe you can't have one without the other. You can't have happiness without suffering. You can't have suffering without happiness. And and even at that, what is suffering considered? Because in the video where they talked about, can there be suffering? Can is God and suffering compatible? Can you have suffering and there still be a God? And many of them felt that you couldn't have there. God either was not omniscient or omnipotent if he couldn't stop suffering, and if for the most part, if there's suffering in the world, then there can't be a God. And I felt that that was I was kind of puzzled as to why they felt that way, because I personally feel like as though suffering can is very can be, not that it's beneficial, but it helps us to build character, it helps us to develop, and it helps us to grow. If we don't go through situations in life, if we don't go through obstacles, then how are we supposed to grow? How are we supposed to build characteristics? How are we supposed to build virtues if everything is good all the time? And then some of the examples that they were giving as suffering, I wouldn't consider to be suffering, because I feel as though a family member passing, would that is that really considered suffering? Because that's just natural. Everybody dies. So is that really considered suffering? And then I would consider suffering, for example, Jesus suffered. He was nailed to a cross and he was whipped. And I don't, that's not natural. So I feel as though that's something that would be considered suffering. Uh, or maybe, like, for example, like an atomic bomb or something like that, or if an entire village is suffering, I feel as though that's considered. Um, I feel as though that's considered suffering. um, but I feel as though the way that we can be happy, I think a good example is what they talked about in the article, about being happy, being in good spirits, quick to laugh, slow to anger, at peace and untroubled, confident and comfortable in your own skin, engaged, energetic, and full of life. I feel as though those are the things that lead to happiness. As long as we have those characteristics and we're able to do those things, no matter what we go through, as long as we carry that type of character and that type of personality throughout our struggles and our quote unquote suffering, then there's no reason why we can't be happy or find happiness while we're going through suffering or while we're going through a life event that may cause any type of suffering. Thank you.